Detective Henin has arrived at Vanessa Smith's house, removes his sunglasses, gets out of the car and walks to the front door. The detective can hear someone quickly approaching the door from the other side.
Who is it?
It's Detective Henin's Conway's Homicide Division. We've spoken before.
Vanessa swings the door open. There stood a slim 5'7", elegant, beautiful woman with reddish blonde hair, even when curled falls waist length, wearing a royal blue fitted dress, tailored to accentuate every curve, with a big, beautiful smile on her face.
Good morning, Vanessa. Are you available to speak?
Good morning, Detective. Yes, of course. Has Alfred confessed?
Caught off guard, the detective responds.
No, I am here to ask you a few more questions.
Me? Well, come on in.
Vanessa ushers the detective to the living room, a very cosy, neat and organised room, too clean to have been used often. But you can tell the room was created as a place to enjoy family time. Big screen TV, beautiful fireplace, and cushy couches. A pumpkin spiced candle was lit, and the smell engulfed the entire room. But nothing can overshadow the smell of Vanessa's perfume. A smell of warm vanilla.
Do you want some coffee? Tea? Hot cocoa?
No, thank you, but thanks for asking. This is an exceptionally beautiful home. Do you and your family spend a lot of time in this room?
The smile fades from Vanessa's face.
We used to, before Alfred became very consumed with work. He started leaving for work before the children awoke and would not be home most nights until the children were asleep.
Vanessa pauses.
But now I know the real reason.
What do you mean by real reason?
Vanessa confused and angered by the detective's question.
You know what I am talking about. We both know my husband was fucking the psych bitch.
How long did you know about the affair?
Well, he was pretty obvious. You know, he decorated this room himself. Said he wanted a room specifically designed to enjoy his family. At one point, we would have a movie night every Friday. For date night, we would roast marshmallows right there in our fireplace. Then one day it all stopped. He became too busy. Work was always hectic. Or he always had to stay late. I knew something was occurring behind my back, but I could not figure out what. I would question him, but not exactly on infidelity. I would ask him if he still loved me. Did he enjoy spending time with me? But he would always tell me what I wanted to hear. So, 3 months ago, I hired a private investigator.
Vanessa gets up, removes a picture off the wall, revealing a safe. She puts in the code and opens the door, pulls out an envelope and hands it to the detective. The detective opens the envelope and pulls out over 60 photos of Alfred, and each picture labelled with a date and time. Last photo date was 1 week before Jessica's body was found. The detective is astonished by the amount of evidence Vanessa was able to gather on her husband's infidelity. But before he could ask further questions, his phone rang.
Give me 1 moment, Miss Smith.
Detective Henin answers the phone.
Detective Henin's homicide. How may I help you?
Detective, it's me, Dr. Swan. I need you in my office immediately. Another body's been found. I will give you more details when you arrive. But this time, a tape was included.
I'm on my way.
Detective Henin gets up and briskly heads towards the door.
Miss Smith, I must go. But if I have any additional questions, I will be in touch. Is it okay if I take these photos with me?
Vanessa opens the front door to escort the detective out.
That's fine with me, Detective. My lawyer already has a copy.
Detective Henin burst into Dr. Swan's office. Dr. Swan is sitting at his desk with a grotesque look upon his face.
What do you have for me, Doc?
You should brace yourself, Detective. This one is worse than the last.
Dr. Swan begins to walk towards a preparation table. There is a white cloth covering the body lying underneath.
We received a call this morning that A body was found stuffed inside a washer machine within dry and laid laundromat.
Dr. Swan dreadfully pulls the cover back. They both look with dismay. The face of a once beautiful woman has been butchered with staples to create the appearance of a smile. The top part of the torso looked normal, but the hips, legs, and feet were twisted and broken into many pieces.
What's the story? How did this happen? Do we know the victim?
I also found this banana lodged in the throat of the victim, the same as Dr. Jessica Ross. Fingerprints has identified the victim as Kimberly Mays, a local college student. Her roommate reported her missing 3 days ago. The killer included a video. It was specifically addressed to the lead detective, so I have not watched it, but based on the injuries, it looks like the bottom half of Miss Mays was placed inside a washing machine and someone turned it on. The owner of the laundromat confirmed the washing machine where the body was found did not belong to them. Forensics has taken the washing machine to their lab for further investigation. Hopefully they will find fingerprints, hair, something, anything to catch this killer. It looks like we have a serial killer on our hands.
Detective Henin further investigates the body and notices all of Kimberly's fingers were missing skin and had deep abrasions, as if something or someone had chewed them.
I do not want to classify this as a serial killing yet. That will bring too much media press and would probably fuel the killer. Let's keep the details behind this killing as discreet as possible. One thing for sure, unless Alfred Smith had an accomplice, he cannot be the killer because he has been in jail.
Detective Henin grabs the tape left by the killer and heads to a secluded office. Dr. Swan also enters the office and closes the door behind himself. Detective Henin places the tape inside the VCR, and at this moment they are both introduced to the monstrosity known as the Banana Killer.